Welcome back to The Vocalist. Today I am hearing type O negative for the first time, so we are starting with the song Love You to Death. Here we go.
In her place, 100 candles burning. A salty sweat drips from her breast. Her hips move, and I can feel what they're saying, swaying. They say the beast inside of me is gonna get ya, yeah.
I don't know what I was expecting. This wasn't it. I think for some reason I had in my mind like metal music, which I know there are thousands of different genres, it seems, within metal music. But I want to just see real quickly. Oh, gothic / doom metal. Okay, that's interesting. When he first started, I would probably consider him a bass baritone. Granted, I'm going off of whatever, 2 minutes that I've heard thus far. He's got those really gorgeous, lovely, low bass resonant notes, but as he ascends, there's this really gorgeous brightness in his tone, which is why I'm leaning more bass baritone. But we'll see. Let's start from the top.
In her place, 100 candles burning.
That's so interesting. Sorry, I have to look again because it said that they were founded in Brooklyn. I'll have to. I don't know if I'm hearing an accent in his pronunciation or if he's, I guess I should say, an innate accent, or if he's doing it intentionally. I won't take up too much time figuring this out. You guys know I always like to I do so much research after the fact, so it's a learning curve during the process. Granted, this is just my mind wandering, but when I hear like the word like gothic doom metal, and then hearing this very first line, it reminds me of movies that feature vampires and whatnot. That accent.
In her place, 100 candles burning.
Like 100, that flipped R and that sort of like almost like schwa sound instead of 100. I don't know. It's interesting.
A salty sweat drips from her breast. Her hips move, and I can feel what they're saying, swaying.
There's a lot of containment. These vowels are very round, but also, yeah, there just isn't a lot of spread. Maybe not even round, but they feel like they're very focused. So that might also be what's giving me, I don't know, what made my mind sort of go to that vampire movie place. In this part of his voice, we're getting a lot of fry, and there's some really beautiful warm sounds, which makes sense when you're at the lower part of your range. You need your chords to still be able to vibrate, but they also, like, they're as short and as fat as they're gonna, and thick as they're gonna get. So it's a good tactic to find some relaxation, which then lends itself to more vocal textures, whether that is fry, breathiness, airiness, etc. So we're hearing a lot of that right now. When he flipped into that slightly, well, I don't know if it was the chorus or the pre-chorus, but the next section, we're not hearing quite as much texture. It felt a little bit crisper, maybe like more full adduction. So we'll see how everything progresses.
They say the beast inside of me is gonna get ya, yeah.
Back up. So when we hear that yeah sound, so bright, so pingy, so beautiful. When we get into this section right after, I feel like we're hearing a lowered soft palate because there's a decent amount of nasality, but the vowels themselves, I feel, have more of that sort of twang to them compared to what we heard previously. Let me see if I can get that yeah, just so you can like hear the contrast in those. Goodness. Oh. Musically, I'm really enjoying this because it is giving that gothic sort of darkness essence with, for me, especially with the tempo and how when we got to this section in the song, they didn't speed things up. It grew in intensity, but not in speed. And yet that little pulsing in this section, I think, is just, it's haunting. These tiny little nuances in pronunciation are just making me so curious because, like, the flipped R's and some of that contained vowel posturing, for lack of a better description, I don't know, they're interesting. Interesting. I feel like I hear car noises outside, so I apologize if that's getting picked up on the mic. The added, I think it was kind of like an added articulation. I'm gonna try and play that again. Now close those eyes and let me love you today. I just cannot put my finger on his voice. There's something so interesting about it. It feels very dark, and yet there's this gorgeous brightness, and not in the way that I usually describe. I talk often about balancing ping, brightness, forward placement with the depth and richness and, you know, that open pharyngeal sound, and this isn't it. I can't quite it's gorgeous, but it's balanced in a way that I cannot describe, and I just need to keep hearing it. Now close those eyes and let me love you today. I think one thing that's aiding in this sound is his breath control, because there was a moment previously where I heard a little bit of vibrato filter in, but for the most part, I think he's just got this gorgeous stream of air that's very full but very controlled. So we're not controlled in the sense that wherever he is in his range, we're not getting moments of interruption or added volume or added vibrato in any places. It's just so consistent and just moving so steadily throughout this entire piece. So maybe that's part of what I'm hearing, is just that breath utilization and the way he is controlling his sound. It's just very intriguing. I'm backing it up. Wow. Wasn't expect. What a great song. So many elements here. More of that nice head dominant mix, breathier, airier. I feel as though this is maybe, I don't know, I'm gonna have to look up an interview after this. This sounds like it might be closest to his speaking voice as far as sound placement, not necessarily adduction. I wouldn't think he speaks this lightly, but I keep making faces because I keep trying to make sounds without actually making sounds to replicate what he was doing before. That compared to what we're hearing now, this just feels so effortless and so easy and not, I don't know. It's different. I also am enjoying the harmonies on this. That it just really made this whole section blossom, and it's such a good contrasting element to what we heard previously. My brain is slowly putting everything together. Type O negative. That is blood. It looked like he had oh, what do they call it? I know sometimes you can almost like extend your I'm gonna say fangs for oh my goodness. I worked in a dental office, if you can believe it, once upon a time, but I can't remember. Oh my gosh. Canines. I know you can cosmetically enhance your canines. I don't know if he did that. There was just an image where they looked more pronounced than I saw at the beginning. I don't know if all of that was intentional with the band name and the genre they sing. I could just be making all of this up, but if I figured it out, let me know. I want to go back. This last section had so many different vocal textures, and I loved it. So here we go. There, am I good enough? We got a lot more press than what we heard previously with, oh, now I can't even remember the words. Something about love, I think it was. This, For You, reminds me of the previous section, whose lyrics I can't remember. I'm having a day, y'all. I'm gonna look it up. Okay, so now when he's singing For You, that vocal texture reminds me of the same vocal production he used on the lines, Let Me Love You. So it's very warm. It doesn't feel affected. It doesn't feel like he's pressing a lot. And it feels like it might be most aligned with his normal speaking space, like in the oral cavity. We'll keep going. That was the shot where I thought maybe his canines had been extended. This is nice and bright. This feels also very neutral. And if you go back to the beginning or even this later section, you can hear how this is not sounding as affected. It's not as dark. It's not as covered. Maybe that's the word I was looking for before. I mean, obviously it's not as contained because the word I, but already we've got these two different sounds. And then, granted we're lower, but we get the fry again, and then it feels so much darker, like maybe a little bit of depression in the larynx to get that added color. I'm gonna have to listen to a lot more from this band to get a grasp on his vocals, but also their music as a whole. I find it so interesting, and as you could tell, I was having a hard time wrapping my head around everything. It's just, he's got incredible vocals and so many different colors. I like how he incorporated them in this piece because I feel like it was done very tastefully in that we weren't getting continuous shifts in color and texture. They seemed very purposeful and intentional with each section of the song. And then musically, it's, yeah, every time I hear a new metal group, it's just so fun, for me at least, because I just find it so intriguing how many different styles fit within that genre, or rather subgenres fit within that genre. If anything, for me, I feel like it was his vocals that, especially when they were really twangy and affected, and that nice consistent through line with like straight tone and no vibrato, like those were the moments where the vocals were so intense. They weren't harsh by any means, but they had this gorgeous intensity that immediately made my mind go to metal. But the music had this really nice mellow quality, and then those few moments where we got the pulsing, I don't know, this was just, I kind of love it when a song just confuses me in a good way, you know, like I have a lot of listening to do in order to, I think, one, to fully appreciate what I just heard and not just be enamored with all these different characteristics and qualities in the song, but also to have, I want a better understanding of the group as a whole. So now I'll do my research and learn what I can. And obviously, if you guys have information to share, please feel free to put that in the comments. But that is it for today. Thank you guys so much for this recommendation and for watching with me. And hopefully I will see you next time.